Hey, what's up, everybody? So today I wanted to spread the word about this new group called the Justice Democrats, which are a group that was created by Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks and Kyle Kulinski of Secular Talk, which is another YouTube channel affiliated with the Young Turks. And they have created this caucus group, I would call it, to sort of push the progressive agenda within the Democratic Party, and their platform is pretty solid. Now, there are some things I disagree with the Justice Democrats on, most notably their gun positions, which I'll make a separate video talking about that, and I'll upload it simultaneously with this video so you guys can check that out as soon as this video is published, because I'll post them at the same time, but whatever. And but to go through their platform, I want to just do that real quick. The biggest one is to get a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics. Very important. Funny story is today when I was in class, even though I'm an engineering student, I'm taking business classes like for a minor, and we're talking about ethics and corruption. And our professor, who's a pretty good, he's a pretty nice guy. He said that the United States is ranked 17th least corrupt country in the world. But the problem with that is that the way you define corruption and what is considered corruption might be different, or it might be viewed differently based on how they're measuring corruption. And right now in the United States, and I rose my hand and said that the United States is by far one of the most corrupt countries on the planet, because yeah, in some West African countries you might have to bribe a guard to get across the border for like $100, but in the United States, we're talking about billions of dollars going into our political system to sway politicians. Another story that I have about that is that my girlfriend's family used to own a beer business before he sold it, and I'm very close with my girlfriend's dad, and sometimes we hang out and watch movies in his man cave or whatever. And he was talking to me about how he's like very disgusted with the corrupting influence of money in our political system. And he said that when he owned this beer distributory business or whatever, that politicians will come and see him to ask for money. Have you ever seen a politician show up at your residence or your job asking you what you need from them? No, it's because if you have money, or if you're a business that has money, then they come to you with their hands out, but they don't listen to the American people. And he said that anyone who says money isn't an influencing factor in our government, it's just like it's just they don't have a good grasp on reality or something like that. And then also moving on to the next part of their platform, re-regulate Wall Street and hold white collar criminals accountable. Definitely for that. I think that me and my uncle were talking about this. He's a retired cop, and I interviewed him, and he said that some of the biggest criminals in the country are on Wall Street. Yeah, someone might rob a store and steal like $30, and they get 30 years in prison, but a guy steals 100,000 people's pension funds and he gets a bonus. And there's something wrong with that. There's something immoral with a system that allows something like that to happen. Also, end billionaire and corporate tax dodging, fix the system to benefit middle class and poor people. Definitely for that. Defend free speech and expression. Now, Kyle Kulinski, he elaborated on that in his 1 hour and so minute video. That it's you guys should definitely check that out. I'll have that in the description below as well. And he said that even if you disagree with somebody, it might be a crazy Christian preacher and they come to your campus, you let them get their word in or whatever. You let them have the right to say what they want to say, and then immediately after that, you come in and debunk every piece of nonsense information he just said or whatever, and that's how you do it. But when you try to shut down someone else's right to free speech, you're only making that person or that group or that ideology more powerful. Also oppose bigotry, obviously. Make the minimum wage a living wage and tie it to inflation. Definitely for that as well. If the minimum wage was tied to productivity, it would be like, what is it, 16, $18 an hour federally, which is, a person making minimum wage right now made less than a person 30, 40 years ago making minimum wage, because productivity has went through the roof, but the compensation from employees has remained pretty much stagnant, if not in a downward stagnation. Ensure universal healthcare as a right, definitely for that. The United States is ranked 37th in the world in terms of healthcare systems. Some of the best answers to a problem that I might face personally is just, you just look at who does something already very well, and you try to emulate that. I'm not, that might sound like copying or cheating, but in some cases, you don't have to come up with this crazy complicated plan when someone next door to you might be doing something that solves the issue. If let's say your neighbor has a problem with certain weeds growing in his yard or something, and he uses I don't know, soap or I don't know, whatever, right, to kill the weeds, and you're trying to figure out how to kill these same weeds, but you could just ask your neighbor what they're doing and just say, okay, well, he figured it out, then I'm going to figure it out as well. Universal education as a right, I'm for that as well, but I do think that the STEM majors need to be focused on much more than the liberal art majors. I think another issue is that in this day and age, people think that going to college is somehow, if you have a degree, then it's like an automatic, you're going to have a job, and that's just not the case today. Some majors provide a better opportunity of being able to take care of yourself. Like, if you go to school for theater and you're not in a school that's like, named Juilliard or something, then, it's going to be a lot more difficult than, let's say, me, who's an engineering student and has a sales minor as well. And, it's going to be easier for me to get a job because I'm able to, or no, I don't even want to say that. My skills are more marketable to a company. And the failed war on drugs, I don't even want to even get into that because it's just like, of course, create the New Deal for that, create renewable energy revolution. Also, I've done research papers when I was a freshman talking about why we need to have a smart grid, because our transmission lines in some places of the country are over 100 years old. So that's something that needs to be fixed. Block the TPP and outsourcing deals with that will further damage the middle class. Actually, President Donald Trump, one of the few things I agree with him on, he pretty much got us out of the TPP from what it looks like. So when your opponent does something that's good, you have to say, yeah, that I'm with him on that particular issue. You can't just be like, oh, he got rid of it now, and it's like, no, if I don't know. I heard the secular talk Kulinski guy say that there were like think progress people who were rallying against Trump because he got us out of going into the TPP, which to me is fucking crazy. Like, if Hillary would have done that, you would have been happy about it. But another point for another video. End constitutional overreaches, banning arming human rights violators, of course. Enact common sense gun regulation. Like I said, I'll make a separate video on that matter. Abolish the death penalty. Ensure paid vacation time, sick time, maternity leave for children. For that. And back to that death penalty part. My aunt is a prosecutor, and I remember she told me like a really long time ago that the reason she's against the death penalty is because there's always going to be a very small percentage of people who are later found innocent of their crimes, and if you have the death penalty, then or if you're in favor of the death penalty, then you're in favor of having 5 to 10% of the people who are innocent put to death, and that's unacceptable. Defend and protect women's rights. Obviously, I'm pro-choice. Enact police reform. Go check out my video when I interviewed my uncle. It has some very solid points. And so go check out their website. Go sign up for them. It's definitely something that I'm willing to get behind. I have no problem using my YouTube channel as a platform to spread the message about them. Definitely going to be talking about them a lot more in the future. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Have a nice evening. Peace.